And what were you listening to when you were doing this record? When you were outside the studio, of course. Or maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, we were listening to a lot of different stuff, and the length of time that this record took was different from previous records. And I think we gave us a chance to actually listen to a bunch of different things over a long period of time. We'd spent, I don't know, 5-6 months apart before we got back into the writing studio to just experiment again. So over that period of time, we were all not near each other, and we were listening to a lot of different things. So we came back together with a lot of different suggestions for each other to listen to. And we're like, hey, have you heard of this record? No, I've been over here listening to like jazz and blues, and somebody might come in with some new rock band or some new rap album they were listening to, and it was cool because it was very fresh again. Nick mentioned the song Headphones. That was one of the first songs that we wrote when we got back together. So there's a completely different take on the Walk the Moon sound, because some of us we're like going back to like heavy 90s records and getting re-inspired. Yeah, there's so much new stuff we were listening to. I'm trying to pull out specific things. We actually made half of the record in what used to be Death Row Studios, so that reignited my love for like 90s hip hop.
Which studio is this exactly?
So the studio that Mike Elizondo works out of is actually the old Death Row Records studio. Like Dr. Dre and Tupac and Snoop did stuff there. So that reignited a love for hip hop. And I don't know, what were you guys listening to? I know I like fell back into hip hop during this record.
I got hooked on reggae.
Snoop Lion.
Snoop Lion. Yeah. Old reggae stuff like Gregory Isaac and bands like Steel Pulse. And I don't know if it shows up very palpably on our record in terms of sonically, but one thing I really loved that I every time I listened to the reggae music was that all of the songs have these longing, sad lyrics and painful almost, and yet they all have this relaxed vibration, and it's like this sense of just like going with the flow and persevering, and that became a theme for me writing lyrics on the record.
And you just mentioned that you were apart for 5 or 6 months before going to the studio. Mm-hmm. How were those first days after you guys got together to record?
It was exciting. It was really exciting.
Interesting.
We didn't know what to expect. We just kind of went for it. But after we started playing again together, once the music was happening, it was pretty awesome. Well, in my opinion, it could have been different for them.
Yeah, well, we kind of went back to basics. We kind of went back to our roots of just the four of us alone in a room making noise, just making sounds that excited us. And that's, that's what started some of the first Walk the Moon songs, and that's what reignited this record.
Cool. Now, final question. Can each of you tell me which is your favorite song on that record?
Sure.
I think my favorite song it goes back and forth. Press Restart or Headphones. It's usually my favorite two on the record, each for different reasons. Press Restart is just it's a very unique take on our sound. I think it's a very fresh take, and it sort of encapsulates what we were trying to do on this record. You know, it's still us, but we're new.
Yeah.
Anew. Eli, do you have any favorite songs?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Press Restart as well. There are about 65 guitars on that song. Like, there's just this enormous aural bouquet of guitars layered throughout the piece.
It's about 65 of everything in that song, I think.
Yeah, right. So it was really, really fun to do, and it was really it was a fun kind of creative experiment for us in the studio.
No, you're double mic'd. Yeah, it's too much sound.
It's too much
sound.
My favorite also changes from day to day. One of my favorites is called Sound of Awakening, and partly it's my favorite because it's just so so different. We kind of leave the pop song mold behind, and just kind of go on this journey, you know, from one piece of music to the next, and there's a lot of surprises and that is maybe the one part on the record that really digs into the reggae influence. So.
I knew he was going to say that. If you didn't say it, I would have brought it up. Yeah. I love all my children equally. So it's hard to have a favorite. And we spent so much time getting so detailed on these songs that actually some of these songs had hundreds and hundreds of tracks within the song, like, you know, instruments and vocal parts and things. And one of my it's hard to decide. One of my favorites. I gotta say Headphones, because it was fun to record. It was not necessarily one that had like the most parts on it, but translating to live, it's such a fun song to play live. It's so physical, and that's my favorite thing. There is a cute dog.
Come here.
That just came into the room. It's so cute. Hi. That's my favorite part of the album, right there.
This pug
is the dog.
Hey.
Hi. There's no cares in the world. Hi. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yep. Everybody take a pet, and then
She's out. Peace.
he likes pink. All right. What? Oh, long gone.
He's over there.
Whoa, sorry.
Where you going?
Wow, completely. Hey, come on, here we go. Yes.
Go, my Nikki.
Oh my goodness.
Thanks for saving my life there.
Yeah.
All
This has
right.
been Walk the Moon and Dogs.
All right.
Donkaville.
All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much for
Thank
your
you.
time. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks. Cool.